I'm Genesis.
Standing on the balcony of my new apartment, sipping hot tea and gazing at the city lights, I reflect on how far I've come. 3 months ago, my life was turned upside down, but now I've emerged stronger and more independent. I used to be in a seemingly perfect marriage. I'm a pediatric nurse at Rosewood Children's Hospital in the quiet town of Meadowbrook, New Hampshire. My husband, Leo Thompson, and I met at Yale University. He's 3 years older than me, a successful real estate developer. He was once featured on a regional magazine's list of top young entrepreneurs under 45. In the eyes of our friends and family, he was the ideal husband, charming, intelligent, and ambitious. We lived in a beautiful 2-story house in the Pinewood neighborhood. The house had a large front yard with a well-maintained garden and a backyard big enough for family gatherings. I took great pride in decorating every corner of our home, from the wall art to the table settings. I remember the excitement we felt when we first moved in, even though we were struggling to pay the mortgage. I thought this would be our forever home, where we'd build a family. Leo was excellent at making people feel special. At company events, he'd effortlessly draw everyone's attention with his confident speeches about his projects. With his neatly trimmed brown hair, tailored suits, and a warm smile, he was the center of every room. I was content being the one behind the scenes, planning parties, cooking his favorite meals, and remembering all his little preferences. I balanced my busy job at the hospital with our family life and was proud of it. Whenever Leo introduced me to his colleagues as the one who makes my life perfect, I felt a deep sense of happiness. But then things started to change. Leo began coming home late. At first, I believed his explanations that his projects were at a critical stage and needed more supervision. However, the late nights became more frequent, and he'd come home disheveled, with the smell of an unfamiliar perfume on his shirt. His behavior started to seem off. He'd avoid my gaze and give me vague answers when I asked about his day. One evening, while folding his shirt, I found a faint red lipstick stain on the collar. I tried to convince myself it was an accident, but deep down, I knew something was wrong. From that day on, I noticed other signs. He'd rush to the shower as soon as he got home, and his phone was always with him. He'd close apps quickly when I got near, and our evenings together became rare. He started criticizing my cooking and suggesting I should take better care of myself. One day, I found a receipt from an upscale restaurant in his pants pocket. It was for a dinner for two with an expensive bottle of wine, on a night he claimed to be at the office. That night, when he came home, I pretended to be asleep. I heard his phone vibrate and a message popped up. "I miss you. When can we have another night like that?" I lay there, my heart breaking. I decided to find out the truth. I started by looking at his social media. I noticed a woman named Iris Carter appearing in many of his recent photos. She was an interior designer, specializing in high-end real estate projects, and she was married to Victor Carter, a well-known accountant in the city. I also remembered that Leo had a locked desktop computer in his office. I knew where he hid the key, and one night, I opened it. The password was our wedding date. What I found was undeniable evidence of his affair. Hotel booking emails, receipts for fancy dinners, and jewelry purchases that were not for me. There was also a hidden file with a detailed schedule of his so-called client meetings, which were actually dates with Iris. I knew I couldn't confront him right away. I contacted a private investigator, Ava Reed, recommended by a colleague at the hospital. Ava was very professional. She collected more evidence over the next 2 weeks, including photos of Leo and Iris together at a hotel and at a resort. I planned a dinner party. I invited Leo's business partner, Mark Harris, and his wife, Lily. I also invited Iris, knowing that Victor would be staying at Mark's house during a business trip. On the night of the dinner, I was in control. I arranged the seating so that Leo, Iris, and Victor would be in close proximity. When Iris walked in with Leo, she was confident, but her face turned pale when she saw Victor. During the meal, I gently probed about Iris's work. Tension filled the air as the lies started to unravel. When I presented the evidence I'd collected, the truth was out in the open. Victor was devastated. He left that night with the evidence, and within days, he filed for divorce and a criminal complaint against Iris for embezzlement. Leo's business partners cut ties with him, and his career fell apart. Our divorce was quick, as he had no power to fight me. I sold our old house and bought this cozy apartment. Now, I'm the head nurse at the hospital. My colleagues see me as a strong and confident leader. I've also made new friends, like Lily, who reached out to me after the dinner. Victor and I also support each other through the aftermath. Looking back, I realized that the pain I endured was a turning point. I've learned to love myself and take control of my life. I'm no longer the woman who lived in a false marriage. I'm a strong, independent woman who will never let anyone define my worth again.